my chit chat video. Welcome back to another little mini reaction video. So before we go ahead and get into tonight's video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Shout out to all our Purple Heart members. Thank you guys for all of your support. For those of you who didn't get a chance to join the live, you guys will see this video once it re-uploads to YouTube. So shout out to you guys and thank you for your support. You guys always come through and we love you guys so much. Shout out to everyone who is subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support. And shout out to all of our new subscribers. There are like a ton of you guys. There are a ton of you guys, and we appreciate you guys so much. Before we go ahead and jump into tonight's topic, I am gonna go ahead and talk about the milestone giveaways that we have going on the channel as we push towards the end of the year. So this is something that I do for as long as I've been on YouTube, and I've had a couple channels. Um, I like to go ahead and give back to the people who support us throughout the year. So around Christmas time, times like that, we like to go ahead and give back. So it's no different. On this channel, we are doing the milestone giveaway. When we hit 1,000 subbies, we are doing a Uber Eats gift card giveaway. I talk about this at the beginning of every video. While we wait for people to come in, I also want everyone who's joining for the first time to get the opportunity, if they want to take part, to take part. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and talk about that for a little bit. So we have the Uber Eats giveaway. In order to take part in that giveaway, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. Of course, that's a no-brainer. Subscribe to the channel, watch the videos, comment Purple Heart in the comments under the video so we know that you came through. And for this particular giveaway, you do have to live in Canada. It's a Uber Eats electronic gift card, so you do need a valid email address in order to receive the gift card. So there are two stipulations. Well, actually, there are three. You must be subscribed to the channel, obviously. You must reside in Canada because it's an Uber Eats gift card. You can only use it here where I am, and you must have a valid email address to receive it. So those are the only three stipulations for this particular giveaway. And once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we will be picking two people to do that giveaway with. So that's going to be exciting. You guys can use the Uber Eats cards. You guys know if you use Uber Eats, you can use it for rides, you can use it for groceries, you can use it for different services that they offer on the app. So that's exciting. You don't have to just use it for one thing. Um, so now we're going to talk about the other giveaway. So this is the watch time giveaway. It's another giveaway I like to do at as we push towards the end of the year. It's our way of giving back and of course encouraging you guys to go back and watch all of our old videos, some that you may have missed, some that you didn't get a chance to watch. Go back and watch it all the way to the end, and of course comment Purple Hearts in the comment section down below. And yeah, you guys will be entered into that giveaway. It is a cash prize giveaway. For this giveaway, the only stipulation is that you must have valid email address. Not valid. I'm sorry. Wrong giveaway. You must have a valid government ID so that you can go ahead and pick up the cash prize at Western Union. We don't use Cash App in Canada. So you have to have Western Union and you must have valid photo ID in order to pick up money transfers. So that's the only stipulation. Shout out to everyone who's joining the live. Thank you guys for coming. We appreciate your time. We just went ahead and went over the giveaways. If you guys want to catch up on that, just kind of rewatch the video once it re-uploads on YouTube, and you guys will get all the giveaway information. We have two giveaways going at this moment. We have the watch time giveaway and we have the road to 1,000 subbies. And yeah, so that's exciting. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into the video. Okay. what I wanted to talk about tonight, since it is almost the end of Vlogtober, I don't know if you guys are going to be celebrating Halloween or not. We don't really celebrate Halloween. I've talked about that before. But we do Vlogtober. We do create content for that. We do buy each other chocolates and stuff like that. But handing out candy, no. Dressing up and going out. Well, my daughter is grown now, so we don't do that anymore. When she was a baby, I did take her out to trick or treat. It is a North American thing. But in terms of celebrating Halloween itself, that's not really something that we did in my household growing up. Our house was always the house on the street with the lights off. My mother did not play that. So, anyway, Vlogtober is almost over. So I thought it was appropriate that we go ahead and talk about the big, huge elephant in the room. I've been waiting to go ahead and talk about it. Actually, I thought it was going to die down. So I didn't know if I was going to talk about it or not, but it's clearly not dying down. Everyone is talking about this. I've watched so many YouTube videos with different scientists and people who watch the comets and all that stuff, and it's clearly not dying down. It's getting more and more and more mysterious and all that stuff. So I just thought that it would be a good thing to talk about during Vlogtober. It's spooky season. Let's go ahead and talk about if it's a comet or if it's an alien spaceship, whatever the case may be. So these are all like obviously speculation. Nobody has any type of scientific proof or anything like that. um I'm good, Trace Mez. Thank you. How are you? Hope you're good as well. So yeah, like I was saying, nobody really has any scientific proof as to it not being a comet, other than certain scientific things that has been happening that has not happened before. So we'll go ahead and just jump into why I wanted to talk about this. um I'm kind of like a closeted nerd. Like, I love this type of stuff. I literally listen to these videos to fall asleep. I really liked Stephen Hawkins. I used to watch a lot of his stuff. And I remember specifically when he expressed like concern when they started talking about Alpha Centauri, and they wanted to, try to find Earth 2.0, and the whole like, let's all move to Mars, let's colonize this, let's do the whole Star Trek thing. And he was very much against that. He was very much like, that's not something that we should be doing. Like, we shouldn't be poking around in space. We shouldn't be sending things out into space. We shouldn't be trying to go beyond our solar system. We shouldn't be sending probes and sending things of that nature. Because he always believed that there was a reason why we were not able to discover alien life. And I think he called it the, I don't even want to try and pronounce it, but it's some type of paradox, basically meaning that um it's on purpose. It's not a coincidence that we haven't discovered aliens and stuff like that. It's because they don't want to be discovered. They're so far advanced, more advanced than we are. We're so primitive compared to them in terms of advancement. And they don't want to be contacted, so they deliberately shield themselves from us. That was kind of one of his stance on it. Before he passed away, I remember he talked about it a lot, about the fact that we shouldn't do the whole James Webb thing, and we just shouldn't be poking around and all that. And I thought that was interesting. Of course, after he passed away, they launched, the James Webb and all that stuff. They had Voyager 1 and 2 out there a long time ago. And those things are so far gone. They're never ever ever coming back, obviously. Um and then we launched the big James Webb. And then weird stuff started happening up there. Things started shutting down. Then it turned back on, and it started sending back all this weird data. Then nobody knew what was going on. And then they just kind of, do what they do, and we moved on from that. And then this thing showed up, right? So first, I think we had like the wow signal, which was like some kind of weird signal that they still have not been able to explain, sorry, where it's from and what caused it and all that. So it was like a signal that came from the region where you have, if you follow this type of stuff, then you're keeping up with me. Is from the region that has like the Alpha Centauri or Sagittarius B or something like that. It's coming from the same place this comet is now coming from, comet, quote unquote, right? And so I think everything would have been fine if NASA had like released the information, just released whatever information they had. Instead, they went radio silence, government shut down, no information's coming out. Like no information's coming out. All the information that we're receiving is from like Europe and other entities, but not NASA itself, right? And I think that's kind of what started people kind of like side eyeing the whole situation. Like, what is going on? Like, what did you guys see? Like, what are you not sharing? For people who grew up in the era of Area 51 and Roswell and all that type of stuff, right? This is kind of like very triggering. This is kind of like, is this Area 51 kind of like all over again? Are we going to just pretend like all of this is not happening? Like it's all in our imagination? Like, are you going to just release the information? And I think the the longer they take to release the information is the more skeptical people are going to be about the information that is released. It's kind of like, you took so long. Excuse me. How do we know that the information you're giving us is all of the information? Like we've always had this type of weird relationship with the entities that gather this information, the public being we always get like half truths, and then we have to wait like 30 years and you drop a bombshell. Oh yeah, UFOs were real. Yeah, the people weren't crazy. Yeah, those people we dragged off to the sanatorium and we said they were crazy, they weren't really crazy, but we couldn't say any. It's like, it's crazy. They denied. I remember growing up, they denied Area 51 too. Nothing to see here, there's nothing out there, nothing out there, nothing. And then come to find out, there's some stuff out there. Like, how are we supposed to have trust in the institutions that are supposed to give us the information if the track record with the information is not, what I mean, it's not stellar. Excuse me. Like, I'm not for I'm not for the like conspiracies and stuff like that. But I do take notice of things that just don't make sense, not adding up. That's not conspiracy. That's questioning things that are not adding up, right? Um, Number two that I wanted to talk about quickly in terms of back to the whole, I forgot. I was just saying his name. Oh my goodness. I hate when I do it. Stephen Hawkins, my bad. Back to the whole, we shouldn't be poking around before something pokes back. I don't know like why we're so shocked in 2025. Look how many things we sent out. Not to mention the whole thing with the map of how to find us and the language we speak and our DNA and all that stuff. I mean, the amount of like satellites we have up in space now, the amount of signal, like stuff we let off, cell phones and all this stuff we have going, this planet is jumping, buzzing, right? In terms of like releasing signals. Like it was only, I don't know, a matter of time. You know what I mean? We have been poking around for quite some time. And then we sent the real big guns out. The James Webb thing kind of just changed everything. Like there was just a lot of weird stuff happening that was not easily explained away, right? Like for instance, I don't know if it was the James Webb or one of the Voyagers. They shut off and they couldn't tell us why. Why did it just shut off? Right? The instruments, nothing was, there was no damage, there was no like solar windstorm or something, it just shut off and then it turned back on. Isn't that weird? Look how far out into space these things are, right? Do you like honestly just believe like there's just nothing out there? Like it's not gonna run up into anything? How many thousands and hundreds of thousands of miles away? I don't think it should be so shocking that, um we've been poking around, and now it wouldn't be shocking to me if something was poking back. I think that whole this is just my personal opinion again, this is just my rabbit hole. You don't have to jump down it with me. This is just my opinion. Um when they told us that decided that it shut off and it turned back on, and then it started sending a whole bunch of data, like it started sending, basically they were calling it like gibberish. It was like they can't decipher it, it doesn't make any sense, it doesn't follow any type of earthly pattern, like they just don't know what it is. It's just a bunch of, the machine just started sending back all this weird stuff, right? Is it plausible to think like whoever turned it back on was trying to say like, okay, like I'm trying to save you guys, like just back up, like don't come any further, just turn back, that big red flashing light. Maybe somebody was trying to do us a solid, but we just never was able to decode it, didn't understand it, so we just kept coming, we just kept building more, kept going further, kept doing more, and then now we've gone past like the point of no return, because wherever we sent these probes and whatever we did, clearly, um yeah, that's just my personal opinion. If there was a nothing to see here, if it was just regular science like Amora, that was another comet that was kind of followed the patterned trajectory and all that stuff. It just went by the book, right? There was no weird anomalies going on. There was no weird nothing to make you go, There was none of that. It did what it was supposed to do. It came, it went, that was it. This, however, is not the same situation. Not even by a long shot. Like there's just a lot of weird stuff going on, right? Um and then you get this horrific out of season hurricane just kind of blasting through the Caribbean, like just off the record, off the charts, biggest in history, never seen before. Like, isn't that weird? It's like a lot of weird stuff happening, right? And we're still here waiting for NASA to, explain to us like what's happening. The whole what was it? What was it again? There was some element that the thing was producing without having the required iron or whatever other matching element it's supposed to have in order to produce this. But it's just a lot. Like we need some type of somebody to come explain like what is going on. Okay? If you guys agree, if you've been following this whole 3i Atlas business and you guys are concerned or you had questions or it's just a little bit of a niggling in your mind, like what are they hiding type of vibe, let me know in the comments down below. I'm pretty sure other people, because I've watched so many videos, at least I'm not on here talking about, Independence Day, let's climb up on top of the building and, write signs type of stuff. No, 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 no. What I'm interested in is more of like a scientific, though. I would like some answers. Excuse me. I would like some answers as to like what's happening, because clearly whatever is happening is not something that's ever happened before. Otherwise, we would have all the data, we would have all the information. It would be another just a regular day. Well, not so regular because it's this is like the third time this has happened, but um it's not happening like in a normal way, if that makes sense. Anyway, I don't want to, drag it out too much. I just thought that it would be interesting to talk about. It is Vlogtober, so why not? We're wrapping up. We're counting down to Halloween. I know that's pretty scary to me. I don't know if it would be scary to you. Like I don't think humanity is ready. I don't think we're ready. Like we're just not. Maybe the people that know this stuff know that we're just not ready. I'm definitely not ready. But I think a lot of people are ready. A lot of people are ready to kind of get to the what's next. They feel like there's a next phase. Um I don't know. I don't know. That's another complicated one for me because I am a person of faith, but I'm also educated and a person of science. Like so, my brain is kind of split in two in terms of this type of stuff. But I do look at it all through a spiritual lens. Like everything is possible. So everything is possible. If we were created, why couldn't others be created as well? I just for one don't honestly believe, just keeping it real with you guys. I think it would be very like self-centered to think that you're just the only life in this vast universe. I mean, James Webb is telling us, right? The universe is infinite. It's not even, it's way bigger than they even thought it was. It's huge, it's humongous, right? So I don't think it's implausible that there are other beings and life forms and all this other stuff. I don't think it's implausible. I think the same way we were created, they were created as well, if that is turns out to be the case. So I'm not one of those people who are like, oh my god, like, aliens, that's weird. No. Um, no, but I look at it through a more scientific lens. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. For those of you who did stop by, we appreciate you guys so much on a late night. We appreciate your time. Stay up and stay blessed, and we will catch up with you guys in another video. Like I always say, if there's anything you guys want to chit chat about, let me know in the comments down below. Drop it on the community wall, and we'll go ahead and talk about it. It's no issue. Yeah, so stay up and stay blessed, and we'll catch you guys in another video. Deuces.